Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees, blood on the leaves.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Cornell, aka your big head cousin, and I'm back with the audit. Before I start, I want to go ahead and say I appreciate all the people who have hit me up and on Twitter and told me how they appreciate my videos and to keep up the good job. Even though it's only a couple, I still appreciate everybody that does that. So if you want to show your appreciation or just give me some ideas, go to my Twitter. It's the Social Audit 1, the number 1, the Social Audit 1, and yeah, just hit me up, and also like, share, and subscribe my videos. What I want to talk about today, I had this concept I wanted to talk about that had to do with protesting, and right when I was trying to figure out how I wanted to talk about it, I see this post about our President Trump and the comments he made about police brutality. Now, I'm not going to harp on this too much, but I think it really played into what I wanted to talk about anyway, so I'm just going to touch on it. Nobody should condone police brutality. You know, I don't just see this as a white-black issue. I see this as a issue that affects the whole country. So nobody should condone anything like this. You know, President Trump didn't say beat up black people. He said he doesn't mind if police get a little rough with people when taking supposed criminals to jail. First of all, I want to say, what happened to the concept of being innocent until proven guilty? You can't punish somebody by being rough with them if you don't even know if they did the crime yet. He's talking about go ahead and bang their head on the side of the car while you're putting them in the car. That is an innocent person at that point. Have you forgotten all these laws or what the law means? Second of all, even though he didn't come out and say beat up black people, when you couple this with what he said when he was on his campaign trail about anybody that doesn't like me, which were mainly black people showing up at the protest, beat his ass, punch him in the face, and beat him up on his way out of here, get him out of here. So his supporters who liked that idea of beating up black people who went to his campaign trail, even though they may have had different reasons, he may have said get the person that's disturbing my speech out of here. They were thinking beat this black person's ass because the president just told us to do that. So if people took it to that level based off a couple words that he said, now that he's telling police to beat up people, who do you think they're gonna beat up? Just think about it. And most cops that I saw on Twitter disagreed with what President Trump said, because they understand that that sentiment being out there puts their lives in danger as well. Because now you got people used to think, oh well, the cops might beat me up, and other people would think, oh no, the cops are here to protect me. And now if it's out there that the president is telling police to beat people up, everybody's going to think that cops want to beat them up, and they're going to react accordingly. They're going to resist arrest because they don't want to get killed. You know, they're going to do a lot of things that may have not happened if these words hadn't been uttered from his ignorant ass mouth. This is crazy. Like, when Trump was elected, I said, you know what? I didn't vote for him. But he is now the president of the United States, the country that I live in and I'm from. So let's give this man at least 6 months. Here we are 7, 8 months later, and he's saying this dumbass shit. So even people that were trying to give him a chance are now looking like, what the hell did we do? Anyway, I'm not going to harp on that. I just think it plays into what I'm trying to say is we need to not only protest when the bad things happen as a black community, we need to show unity and power in numbers. We need to be able to, we should have a march, at least 2 marches a year that are just for the fact of showing power in numbers. Peaceful protests now. I don't condone riots at all, because most of the time when you riot, they just allow you to fuck up your own neighborhood and own black-owned businesses to where they can come in and gentrify the whole area afterwards because you already burned it down. you're basically doing construction work for them when you tear down your own fucking neighborhood. Let's think about it a little bit. But peaceful protests, a march on Washington in, you know, the spring and in the early fall. Why not? Why not just show our numbers and just go out there and say, hey, we're here peacefully, but this is how strong we are, and this is the numbers we have, 10, 20, 30,000 people. It doesn't take many to show power. And we are here to show that we would not be violated in any way. Not just have a protest when somebody gets killed by a cop. And now that this sentiment has been shown by President Trump, it's even more important to show that we are power in numbers before something happens. Hopefully that will stop things from happening, because people will be aware of the consequences of their actions. The reason some of these cops, or the cops that have done these things, feel like they can do it is because they keep getting away with it. And they feel like they can do it because, oh man, you know, nobody's going to do anything about it. Nobody's going to really march. They may have a riot for a day or two, but nobody's going to really say anything after that, which has been true for the most part. So, you know, I don't like to give ideas without possibly giving solutions. I'm going to try my best to, you know, just bomb, lack of better words, bomb the BLM, Black Lives Matter Twitter, and just keep pushing this idea of having peaceful protests for no reason more than showing unity and power. Hopefully, if you're watching this video, you do the same thing. Let's get that trend started. Let's get, you know, those people, they claim to be leaders, you know, so let's get that going. You know, I think leadership in this generation is more powerful than the leadership in the civil rights movement times. And hear me out. I'm not saying that we have more powerful leaders. I'm saying that the movement overall is more powerful. Simply because in the civil rights movement time, most people were brought to it because they got beaten up themselves, or they had a close friend that was getting brutalized by people that were here supposedly to protect us. Nowadays, it's a lot easier for people to be like, oh, well, nothing happened to me. Racism doesn't exist. So, but people saying that, it is more powerful for people now to come together as a community and show that we're not going to allow this to happen. The reason I say that is because now you have to actually be conscious of what's going on, because you have all these distractions telling you that racism doesn't exist. Let me tell you something. It exists. You know, as long as they're still calling us minority, it exists. The whole point of calling us minority is not just for numbers, a census. It's so they can try to make us feel, you know, lower than anybody else. So now that this, you know, this facade of, you know, a world that's not racist, a country that's not racist, this veil has been put over our eyes, it's a lot harder for people to be conscious of things that are going on. So now that people are conscious, it's because they choose to be. It's not out of necessity, so to speak. It is out of necessity, I believe, but people don't think it's out of necessity. It's more out of they just realizing what's going on, which means it's a more powerful movement because it's of choice, in my opinion. So please join me on this. Go to Black Lives Matter page. Go to, you know, whatever leader you feel is helping the black community. There are many out there, and just say, hey, we need to try to organize a peaceful protest, a march on Washington, at least twice a year, just to show power in numbers. Okay, this will help us down the road, and, you know, and maybe people would think twice before they put their knee on the back of our damn necks during a fucking traffic stop. Just think about it. Until next time, it's been your boy Cornell, aka your big head cousin, and this has been the Audit. Peace.